Welcome! We really missed you at the pre-AOP workshop, but we're glad you can join us today. My name is Lori Thorpe, and I'm the director of the RISE program.
Hi everyone, my name's Heather Shea Gasser, and I'm the assistant director of the RISE program here at Michigan State.
Hi, I'm Victoria Chapman. I'm a member of the RISE program. I am a mentor, and I'm a member of the recruitment team.
All right, so we are getting started with our workshop today. What we would like to also tell you is that accompanying this video is a Google Drive with a lot of other resources that we're going to be referring to, including this PowerPoint presentation. So as you go through this today, also consider all of the other resources that we're offering you. All right, ready to get started. Okay, so let me go to the next slide. All right, so our goals for today are to hopefully prepare you for MSU's Academic Orientation Program, or otherwise known as AOP. We also want to spend a little bit of time talking about majors at MSU so that you can make sure that you're pursuing the major that you are passionate about. The other final thing that we're going to be spending a little bit of time talking about is making a schedule that complements your future and helping you with some various resources online that should help you get to that point.
Okay, at AOP you will enroll in courses, learn about campus resources, and get a chance to experience campus life before this fall. We are going to give you an overview of the various colleges within Michigan State, AP credits, and requirements for general education and majors.
Okay, what to expect at AOP. Lori, I think this slide's yours.
You bet. So when you get to AOP, these are the things that we want you to know that you're going to be pursuing. You'll be pre-enrolled. You will receive a printout that has you pre-enrolled in several MSU courses according to your major preference, or it also can be a schedule according to no preference. You'll receive a printed schedule that is typically not complete, so don't be surprised if you don't have all of your courses and all your course credits on there. That is not unusual. You're going to meet with a major advisor who will then help you modify that schedule, add courses, delete courses. This is a person that is trained within your college, who knows all of the majors within that college and is very helpful in advising what your schedule needs to look like. One thing you need to be aware of is that once you leave AOP, you may not change your schedule. It becomes locked. And so this is part of the reason we like to meet with you like we are now, so that you have a little advance time to start thinking about what is the best college and what are the best majors. Even if you think you know what your major is, we still want you to double check and make sure that it's the right fit for you so that your AOP experience is as ideal as it can possibly be.
At AOP, you'll be given a lot of information that is intended to prepare you, but sometimes it can get a little overwhelming. If you come prepared and have a little knowledge about specific colleges and majors, you might find AOP a little less stressful. Along with knowing what MSU has to offer, know what you bring to the table. Use the time before AOP to discover your skills and strengths. When you know what you are passionate about, it makes pursuing those things so much easier.
So all of the colleges at MSU are very different. Before choosing a major or a college, we want to make sure that the skills and interests align at the college level. So we're going to share with you now some various insights and observations about each college from various RISE students.
First, we want to make you aware that there are 3 colleges among the many colleges that you have to choose from that are called restricted enrollment colleges. In essence, what this means is that you can begin to take courses within the college, but then at the end of your first year and the beginning of your second year, you do have to apply to be formally admitted into this college. And so it's good to also have a contingency plan if you are planning on any of these 3 colleges in the case that you might not be admitted to the college. These colleges are the College of Engineering, the College of Education, and the Broad College of Business. You have to go through an application process for all 3 colleges. Again, not your first year here, but your second year, the end of your first year, the beginning of your second year. All 3 colleges have a minimum GPA requirement that you must meet in order to be able to apply. There are a set of course requirements for all 3 colleges. They're unique to each college. And then there is a application process. And so it's good for you, if these are colleges that you are considering, you might want to go online to the college website and just be familiar with the application process and the courses that you must take to be able to be eligible to apply to those colleges. The first college that we want to share with you is the College of Natural Science. And this is a college that is training you and preparing you to become a scientist. It focuses on what is called the basic sciences. What we want you to do is look at these bullet points and see if you identify and your career interests and your skills align well with this college. We've nicknamed the College of Natural Science all the time because in essence you should plan to have at least 3 science courses each semester all 4 years in order to earn a degree from this college. You can also assume that most of the majors are going to require that you go on for additional education, for graduate education, in order to be able to work in the field of your choice within this college. You should ask yourself the question, do you like research? Do you like data analysis, and do you like experimental design? If you answer no to any of those questions, you might want to consider some other colleges because there will be a lot of those 3 things within any of the majors in this college. It's a very competitive peer group within the College of Natural Science. You should consider that you will also likely every semester have at least 1 3-hour laboratory where you're going to be expected to do quite a bit of work on your own. You will also be required to take physics, biology, calculus, and chemistry. They are very, very different from the level of rigor that you had in high school. So keep that in mind as you think about a major that might be of interest to you that's within the College of Natural Science.
All right, the next college that we're going to look at is the College of Communication Arts and Sciences. We call this the College of Communicators, and really we hope that you consider this college if you're good at writing, you enjoy writing, and the short deadlines don't stress you out. This is a college often that you're in journalism or you're writing papers, and these are important things to consider. The second kind of characteristic is that you're curious and persistent. So lots of folks in this college have other interests outside of communication arts. And one of the nice things that our students in this college tell us is that there's a lot of room in your schedule with lots of electives to pursue other areas of expertise and maybe combine that. So considering how you might enhance your communication arts and science degree with a medical science or sports background may make you really marketable in those fields. If you enjoy creative expression, this also might be a really important college or good college choice for you. And computer skills are really important as well because a lot of the majors in this college have you work with editing programs, graphic design, that kind of thing.
Okay, so next we have the College of Engineering, and that is where you apply science to real-world problems. This is a competitive, restricted enrollment college. You must be able to problem solve without direction. One of the students in engineering says that he uses differential equations every day. So if that's not what you want to do, don't be an engineer. If you're not placed in Calc 1 when you first come to MSU, it's also probably going to be an uphill battle. So if you don't enjoy analyzing data and a lot of math, consider something else. Also, make sure you enjoy modeling and interpreting data sets.
Thanks, Victoria. Our next college is a College of Agriculture and Natural Resources. We've nicknamed this not just cows, sows, and plows. There are lots of majors within this college that you might not expect, like packaging or nutritional science. So here in the College of Ag and Nat Resources, it's a blending of basic science with social science. And so again, this is an applied science where you take scientific principles and use them to solve real-world problems. We find that nature lovers thrive in this college. This is a great place for you. We know that students that are Peace Corps bound find this to be a perfect alignment with their interests. We have majors that range from packaging to animal science. It's a very diverse set of majors within this college. If you enjoy outdoor learning and outside of class learning, it's very important in this college for success, so this also would be a very good fit for you. Here we find careers that are driven by passion, not necessarily by dollar signs, so don't expect to be a millionaire with a degree coming from this college. Here we also find careers, though, in research and in education, formal and non-formal, in government and working for the government, in the nonprofit sector and in community service. Lastly, we want you to know that MSU has very deep ties in the realm of international agriculture and international development, and if you have an interest in going abroad and working in places like Africa, this would be a very good fit for your interests.
All right, our next college is the College of Social Sciences. In the College of Social Science, you'll find a variety of different majors, from anthropology to psychology, history to geography. Predominantly in this college, majors work with giant data sets, big data, running statistics and then interpreting that data based on social groups. Just being good with people isn't a reason to choose this college. It's not about socialization. Really what we're talking about in this college is that this is a very highly interdisciplinary college, that it is more than just your major, and often you'll have an opportunity to work with folks from across the university. Within this college, you also need to be responsible for defining your own job trajectory, and if you can make your degree applicable to what you want to do down the road, that will help you. Also, as Lori mentioned earlier, to the College of Nat Sci, graduate school in this particular college is likely in your field as well. To work in this field, you will probably need a master's degree or a PhD, to work in psychology in particular, or many of the other fields. And we also want to encourage, for all of our degree programs, is that we encourage students to get involved on campus, to do other relevant curriculars, whether it's joining registered student organizations, taking internships, working on campus, making the most of your time here. And that in general, degrees are one thing, but graduate schools and employers are going to be looking for all the co-curricular and extracurricular opportunities that you engaged in while you were here.
All right, now we have arts and letters. So if math and science aren't really for you, Cal might be. This is for people who are interested in design, creative, and/or performing arts. The majors range from Chinese, philosophy, apparel and textile design, to professional writing. There's also teaching minors that are available for certain subjects, and there's foreign language requirements for all of the majors. In the courses, you'll have a lot of writing assignments, a lot of group projects, and you'll find smaller class sizes too, in comparison to big lectures you'll have with math and sciences. The professors in this college challenge students to expand their worldview and encourage them to think outside of their comfort zones.
All right, our next college is the College of Education. If you are interested in engaging the next generation of environmental activists, this might be the college for you. If you're inspired to share knowledge with students, either in the K-12 field or in higher education, considering a College of Education degree might be important. For K-5 environmental studies, this is about getting students outside of the classroom and into the dirt, getting them engaged in some of the natural issues that are happening in our society and having them think about solutions to those problems. If you were in high school and you loved environmental studies, you might consider a K-12 degree in College of Education, looking at how you can teach teenagers about the various environmental impacts that they have, and working with them to think about how they can develop this into a career field for them as well. As Lori mentioned at the beginning, this is a restricted enrollment college, which is important to consider if you're looking at engaging the next generation through the College of Education.
So now that you've got an overview of all the colleges at MSU, and you're going to go back and take a second look or a third look at those colleges and make sure that you feel comfortable that you've found the right college that might be your home, next step is we want you to start to explore the various majors that can be found within those colleges. And for that, your best friend will be what's called the Academic Programs Catalog. We've got the link here for you, so you can go online and look at it anytime, and I guarantee you'll be using it for the next 4 years to review your course requirements. We have a screenshot here for you so that you know you found it when you hit on that hyperlink. It's going to look like this, and as you look down the right-hand side, you'll see that there are undergraduate degrees and then there are undergraduate minors, and those are all hyperlinked back to the detailed description of all the courses that you must take to fulfill that particular major or degree. So we want to really encourage you before you go to AOP to get in there and look at all those majors, explore various majors, try them on for size, sleep on it, check them out again, so that when you get to AOP, you feel very comfortable with your college and potentially even a major. It's not necessary. We don't want you to think that you have to have decided on a major. In fact, we would encourage you that if you feel undecided about it, to stay that way, but be familiar with some majors that might feel right, because then the advisor can put on your schedule some introductory courses from those majors to allow you to dabble in those majors and get a better understanding of what might be the best fit for you. We're going to then now look at, as you look at that guide, you see that there are multiple minors, at MSU that you can also pursue. And smart students aggregate their electives into a minor. Even if it's not the environmental and sustainability studies, there are well over 100 minors that you can pursue at Michigan State University. Look at those various minors and be familiar also with those course requirements. For the minor in environmental sustainability studies, as a RISE student, you will already have completed one course by taking the freshman seminar. Then you'll go on and pursue other courses within that minor throughout the 4 years that you're here. This is a transcriptable credential that says you have a level of expertise in a specialized area of knowledge, which makes you more marketable than your peer group that does not have that minor. It allows you to gain some interdisciplinary skills that our employers are looking for. It's a great, as I said earlier, it's a great way to put your electives to work into something that's going to show up as a credential on your transcript. It's going to develop some skills that you might not normally get within your major. And it's also going to facilitate some pursuit of curricular and co-curricular activities and projects like undergraduate research and working on grants that you might not otherwise have the opportunity to pursue.
All right, now we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about spreading your wings. When you come to campus, a lot of what happens is that you learn to define yourself outside of the context of your family environment or your high school environment. So there are two specific concepts that we're going to share with you in the next few slides to talk about this idea. First is self-authorship. So self-authorship, as you can see on the screen, is a complex model developed by Robert Kagan and also Marcia Baxter-Magolda, where folks looked at personal identities, and specifically of college students, and thought about how they can coordinate, integrate, act upon, and articulate their values, beliefs, and convictions. A big part of this model is thinking about how this happens at the cognitive, intrapersonal, and interpersonal level. A lot of what happens when students first come to college is that they are looking at following formulas, scripts or checkboxes, things that other people have told them to do, or that authority members in their lives, parents or teachers, have encouraged them to consider. What happens after kind of going through this process is that they figure out some of those scripts aren't working for them. And so coming to the crossroads, they see a need for their own vision, their own definitions, and in order to be true to themselves or authentic, they move into a phase known as being the author of one's life. In this phase, students create their own belief systems, they choose their own values and identity, and they figure out the concept of themselves being true to themselves, making sure their mutual needs are being met. This is based in an internal foundation, a belief system, a sense of yourself, and in a belief in mutuality. So folks are considering how these things are interrelated. All right.
Okay, so here we have a little clip for you from Portlandia. It shows an example of helicopter parents. So whatever you do, don't let your parents do this to you.
You can click on the link and enjoy it at a later time.
We like this video because it's a humorous way of illustrating some difficult conversations and that we encounter, not that often, but it may be something that will resonate with you. So we want to share with you a couple places where you might experience your parents becoming a little bit too involved, or where you have to start to cut those apron strings and become your own person. So a few key points for you to remember is that it's not uncommon for parents to think that they can be your academic advisor. This is not a good idea. Your advisor will know way more about MSU policy and course requirements, major requirements, university requirements than your parents do. Even though they may think they've got it figured out and have studied on the website, trust your advisor and encourage your parents that you need to develop a relationship with your advisor, and you need to start making some of these decisions for yourself. We also know that sometimes parents can make it difficult because they are the ones that are paying for your education. However, you are the ones spending the time and effort working on this degree, and it affects your life and your future. We know this can be a difficult conversation. Helping parents step back a little, even though that they are the ones paying for your education. We encourage you to have this conversation sooner rather than later, and if you need tips or conversation starters, be sure to talk to your mentor, be sure to talk to me or to Heather. We'd be happy to help you to learn how to approach that conversation. We've been down that road before. Your parents may also think that it's a good idea for you to share your NetID password so that they can help manage your MSU account, help manage the emails that you'll get from MSU about bills. We do not recommend that you share your password. The reason being is that your NetID password is also the login for the MSU course management system that most professors will use in your courses. By doing this, if you release this information to your parents, it immediately compromises your academic integrity, and a professor may question whether the course submissions that you are making are yours or somebody else's. So don't compromise your academic standing here at MSU. Explain to your parents that that NetID password needs to be kept only to you. Last but not least, we want to remind you that college is a place where you're going to step up and be accountable for yourself. You need to be negotiating these relationships with professors and advisors and RAs and other staff people here at MSU, and it shouldn't be a three-way conversation with your parents and you. And in fact, we can't have those conversations, which leads us to the next slide. There is a federal policy called FERPA, and we're going to explain it to you a little bit more detail in the next slide. But we are not allowed to have those conversations because your privacy is federally protected. So it's okay to keep your parents in the loop, but make sure that you are the one having the conversations with professors and other professional people here and staff here at MSU.
Okay. So MSU complies fully with the Federal Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, FERPA. The Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act affords students certain rights concerning their student educational records. The law governs access to and confidentiality of student records. You know how, when, and why you need to use a FERPA release form. If that makes sense.
So when you reach the age of 18 or begin attending a post-secondary institution, unless you provide written permission to your parent, other than directory information, we can't share information with your parent. And you have the right to inspect or review your educational records at any time. On the screen now is a list of different things that are protected by FERPA. So we encourage you to think about how your grades, your enrollment records, your schedules, your class list, ethnicity, and social security number, among other things, are all protected by FERPA. This means that if a parent calls us and wants to know how well you're doing in class, or whether you're still taking a specific class, or when exactly a class is meeting, we can't share that information with your parent unless you have completed that FERPA release form.
Okay, so next we have university requirements. The courses required for integrative studies and writing are WRA 101, 2 ISS, which are social science courses, You need one at the 200 level and one at the 300 level for a total of 8 credits. You also need 2 IAH classes, which are classes in the arts and humanities. One numbered 201 to 210, one numbered 211 or higher for, again, a total of 8 credits. Additionally, you need 1 ISB course and 1 ISP course, and 1 2-credit lab. So all students, regardless of their major, need 28 credits in integrative studies and writing courses. Students with a test score below 19 on the proctored mathematics placement test also need credit for at least 1 math course beyond Math 103, which is college algebra. There's also options for honors college, and there will be substitutions, so you can talk to your honors college advisor at AOP.
When you get to AOP, you will also see on the printout that you will have a math placement score, among other things. You're going to have a draft schedule. You're going to see a score that is a result of the test that you have been encouraged to take. If you have not taken it, we highly encourage you that you get online and get that math placement exam completed before you get to AOP. Once you get to AOP, if you believe the score that is shows up on your printout does not represent your skills, make sure that you let someone know, an advisor at AOP, that you would like to take the math placement again. And there is that option to retake the exam. There's a proctored exam held at every session, so it'll allow you to retake that and see if you can improve your score. We do know that this placement score is very accurate, and that it will put you, it aligns very well with the skills that you have and the skills that are taught in the various MSU courses. So I would encourage you to not try to place out of what the score is showing, because that's a pretty good representation of what you're going to want to take while you're here at MSU. You should also know that if you have a 28 on your ACT, you will automatically be placed into Math 132 or Calculus 1. The students that are in the College of Engineering and Natural Science should be especially aware of your math placement score, because this will typically start your semester off with Calc 1 or Math 132. We're going to move on then also to talk briefly here about advanced placement credit. We know that many of you have been taking advanced placement courses while you were in high school, and that you may come to MSU with credit, which will allow you possibly to waive out of a course or to actually even bring credit in with you. These scores typically are not available at early AOP sessions. They usually show up midway through AOP. Make sure, though, that when you begin your advising session that you let your AOP advisor know that you have taken AP courses and that you are expecting AP scores. They will check to see if the scores have been sent to MSU and help you build your schedule around that. This is a screenshot of where you will go. We've got the hyperlink available for you to look at. This is where you can find all AP credit scores and what MSU, the equivalencies for them at MSU. So make sure that you go in there and look and anticipate what you might be getting when you start to build your schedule. And next we're going to give you some advice on tips for electives, because this is another requirement when you get to AOP and start to build your schedule. Before you can go into the computer lab, you're going to need to have some idea of some elective courses that you might want to take.
Okay, so advisors will need you to list at least 3 electives before you go into the computer lab for enrollment. So the list we have here are courses that we recommend, and some of them also work for the RISE minor. So at AOP you'll need to have 3 electives picked out for each semester, because you're allowed to enter the computer lab for enrollment. It's a good idea to start shopping for electives before AOP. Make sure they are courses that don't have prereqs. Also keep in mind that some of these won't be available, so try to have a good amount just to be safe. Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to the end of our webcast. Thank you all for joining us today. So what's next? What are your next steps? We encourage you now, between now and AOP, to spend some time looking at the resources that we're going to provide you in the Google Drive, as well as the various links that we have offered to explore different majors and different alternatives. We also encourage you to look at the specific courses that are associated with majors. I think this is a really important thing. Would you enjoy taking or do the courses that are listed under specific majors and minors look interesting to you? Schedule Builder, which we'll provide a link to, will also be helpful for you to know which courses are offered which semesters and how all of those courses might fit together for you as you build your fall and your spring schedules. Finally, we encourage you to look for elective courses. We gave you a short list, but there are many others out there that might be interesting to you, and that, as Lori mentioned earlier, aggregating those electives into minors is a thing that good, smart students do while they're here at MSU.
So we've given you a lot of information today. We've given it to you, though, in advance of AOP so that you've got plenty of time to explore and think and ask questions. We encourage you to ask questions of us, shoot us an email, contact your mentor. We're happy to help you sort through all of this information that you get now and that you're going to get at AOP. We don't want you going away thinking that you have to go into AOP with a clear idea of what your schedule is going to look like. That is not the message that we're wanting to send you home with. We're wanting to give you resources so that you can begin to explore and have a big picture idea of what is available and what you're going to encounter at AOP, so that it's not so stressful when you get there, and that you have some familiarity with some of the terms and some of the majors and some of the courses. We hope this has been helpful. We encourage you to ask questions. We're available throughout the summer. Feel free to email us. Feel free to call. Contact your mentors, and have a great time at AOP. We look forward to seeing you in the fall, and welcome you here to Bailey Hall and the RISE program.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us today. Well, I'll say goodbye.
Bye.
We'll see you soon.